Hey there, folks. This is Bardic Dragoon, and welcome to technically the Spyro Reignited trilogy. But we're not going to be playing the whole trilogy. We're actually only just going to be playing a specific game from that trilogy. One that, well, the only one that I grew up with, Spyro the Dragon itself, the beginning and the original. The original game itself was released back in 1998, and I don't know, it's, in my opinion, just a really good 3D platformer in its general design. Though, as I said, we'll be playing the Reignited trilogy here version, or the Reignited trilogy version of it here, which was released in 2018 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Original Spyro was only the original PlayStation, as a heads up. Forgot to mention that. But yeah, this is a game that I have a lot of fond memories of from back, it would have been my middle school age about then, but we've got a full game to talk about stuff, so let's jump right into things.
Okay, rolling.
It's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age, we now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Gnorc character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Gnorc is a simple creature.
Simple?
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom.
No threat?
Besides, he is ugly.
Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
Alright, and so with that, the adventure begins. Well, as it actually said there on the screen. And, well, we're now in the first level here, the Artisan homeworld. And, well, I think that's a pretty good hook of something to do right here. This shiny little, what is that, jade dragon statue or something? Boop.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world, then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Gnorc? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
And, yeah, that's pretty much, well, for this first world at least, going to be what our goal is. We have to find dragons. I mean, for the whole game, there's a lot more going on. For example, there's finding gems. Which are both just lying around, like these ones here. And, well, like the intro kind of implied, our villain, Nasty Gnorc, I'm not sure which one's correct, has found a way to turn gems into minions to help, or to aid him in his fight against us, because we called him fat. Oh, well, okay, just really ugly, but, you know, somehow saying like we called him fat, it just makes it sound funnier. That, like, it's so petty. I mean, not to say that being called ugly is, like, necessarily less petty, I suppose, but whatever. And yeah. But, setting aside my weird sense of humor. No, hey, wait, actually, it's another dragon. Well, let's get back to things here for a moment.
Where's Nasty Gnorc? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro! You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
Also, one cool thing about the whole dragon statues being collectibles and like freeing the dragons is that they tend to have, well, especially in this early stage, I don't think they have as much useful information later in the game, but you know, they're still fun. It's still a collectible you need to find, and it's still pretty entertaining. Don't do that. Okay. Another one on the hill. I forget where he runs to, but I wasn't planning to take care of them yet anyway, so we'll come in here. Because, well, this is a 3D platformer after all, so collecting things is kind of the name of the game. There's 3 different collectibles that you can find. As I've mentioned already, gems, dragon statues, and the third one is what are called, or is dragon eggs. And, well, I think I've got an idea what levels we should be doing here to start off with, and oh, that's where the one from the hill goes. Okay, I forgot about that. Anyway, but for the moment, you know, we're going to do some interesting levels to show things off. Also, that's the balloonist. I believe his name is Marco.
If you prove your worth by rescuing 10 dragons, then you may use this balloon to fly to a new world.
Yep, like the other guy said at the start there, you need to find 10 dragons in order to be able to get to the next world. We're of course going to find more than 10 dragons, because, well, it's a 3D platformer. You ask me, those tend to be at their best when you, well, just collect everything you can. Also, we just earned what's called a skill point. Apparently those are things that were first introduced in either Spyro 2 or 3, I think 2. But, yeah, basically you get them for doing cool stuff or interesting challenges and levels. They added them into this to kind of bring it in line with the other 2. Actually, yeah, because it was both Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon is 3? Or whatever it is. That had them, and so they added them in this with the Reignited trilogy in order to kind of bring everything together onto the same page. Yeah, interesting, I guess.
Cool flash. Do that again.
The Artisans' boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First, you must complete one of the other Artisan lands.
And yep, that's the boss level door. But we can't open it yet, so we're just gonna run back into the main area here. And let's see. Got stuff in the mini hedge mage from over there. From on there, from over there. Okay. So one last area to go to then. And that's here. But yeah, that's it. Okay. One moment, another dragon to rescue. Forget these things are pretty how common these things are.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
Well, you know, until you brought it up, I wasn't really afraid of that. Thank you. Oh, also, when you rescue a dragon, or anytime you walk on one of the little platforms, it basically acts as a checkpoint. But yeah, as I was about to say, this is a game I wouldn't say I grew up with, because like when most people talk about that, they like tend to be like, yeah, this is when I was really young, I was playing it, and honestly, I don't know, the games that I played when I was really young are a weird oddball bit, or oddball bunch. I mean, what is it? Dragon Crystal on the Game Gear, I remember, Earthbound, Mario World. It's a weird assortment of things. I guess you could go as far as to even go into once I got a game, or once I got my own Game Boy, Final Fantasy Legend. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, this is back in, well, it would have been 99, I think. When I ended up getting for Christmas my own PlayStation, this and Brave Fencer Musashi were the 2 games that I ended up getting. Unfortunately, because my mom, who wasn't super, well, I'd say wasn't, still isn't, super into games, ended up, she was like, what she understood of them was like, the cartridge era, and like, so I got the games, I got the system. What do you mean you need another thing to save your game? So yeah, I actually got really good at clearing this first world, because then I'd turn the game off and I'd have to start all over again. With the exception of one level, but we'll get to that actually probably later today. Anyway, but it actually wasn't the first time I ended up playing it. My dad had a PlayStation of his own, or PS1, PSX, however you want to call it, and yeah. Well, it's the time actually my parents were separated, but so I'd be chill at his place before and after school, and even though that might not have been a good idea sometimes. I mean, this was because of him that I ended up having chocolate donuts and powdered donuts and chocolate milk for breakfast. That is probably not something a 6th grader should be eating for breakfast, but my dad went for it. I'm sure I was happy at the time. My teachers, when I went to school, and well, my mom definitely, once I got home and she learned what happened, was not so much happy about it. Anyway, as we ended up gathering all the treasure and finding all the dragons in the hub world there, or the home world, we're now in, I've gone to another level, Stone Hill. And this is actually a really good intro level beyond kind of just a basic one there, because it kind of gives you a little taste of almost everything. There's one thing that it won't, because that thing is separated to its own levels, and we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, as I was saying... Oh, by the way, enemies. Because you have... Well, actually, let's go with the move list here really quickly. You have... There are 3 things you do. You can jump, shoot fire, or charge. You can also look at an over-the-shoulder camera, but unless you're trying to find your way around, that's usually not super necessary, and even then, that works just fine for me. Anyway, of course, as we've been defeating enemies, you'll notice that is a thing in the game here. But certain enemies and certain obstacles require certain things. This chest requires a key. We'll find one of those, and I did not want to go back up here yet. Admittedly, there's things down there, but we can also, once we get the key, it might make more sense to go there. But yeah, for example, that ram, which, here's another one. Actually, oh yeah, you can flame them too. It just, since they're running at you, going to headbutt, it's like, okay, we'll do this. Battle! Boom! Headbutt them and, take them out, because it seems appropriate. I don't know. But anyway, as I was saying with my dad, because he had a PS1, and so, I'd chill out at his place before school or after school, and I'd play games, because he had all kinds of stuff. I think he even had a Saturn. I don't know if he had an N64, weirdly. Yeah, whatever. Point is, there was a demo disc that had, well, I mean, obviously, yeah, demo discs were in PlayStation era, a bunch of random stuff on there. But one of the things it had was this. And the demo was just the first world and 2 or 3 of the levels, I forget.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
No, we're not a troublemaking little scamp. Nah, that's not gonna happen. Well, not this stage in the game. I mean, obviously it's the beginning of the game, so it's relatively easy. So yeah, I don't foresee a lot of dying, or possibly even a lot of taking damage here. I mean, you won't really get to see how Sparks works, because, well, for one thing, when you have Sparks, he actually will automatically grab treasure if you're in a certain distance of it. So you always want to keep him around. But as that one dragon mentioned a little bit ago, he is basically your life bar. So as you take damage, next enemy we find, I think I'll let myself get hit so you can kind of see how it works. But
after you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
oh yeah, and none of the reason to do this. Well, it's kind of obvious, like, oh, it says right there, return home. That's like the first, that dragon has actually explained it to you, and so that's kind of, I guess this is really designed as kind of the beginning tutorial area or whatever. Which, I mean, I can dig it. It's got some cool stuff in it. And huzzah, we have a key. Oh, and It's kind of a good thing to know. Metal is immune to fire. So, when you see metal, you'll usually want to headbutt it. There are some exceptions, and we'll point them out when we get to those, but for the most part, if you see metal, headbutt it. Or find another way to deal with it. Because there's only like 1 or 2 exceptions where fire actually works on metal, but it kind of is in a weird way, like the fire doesn't actually work on the metal, but it triggers something else. Anyway, another dragon. Talk to him.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll still take hit from an enemy to show it off, but how exactly it works. But yeah, first things first, use this key to open this chest. Which is something that'll pop up occasionally in levels, so you want to keep an eye out for locked chests and keys. I mean, that's just a thing in general in games, I suppose. Like, if you want to keep an eye out if the game has any component of collecting treasure of any kind, you're going to be wanting to look out for locked treasure chests and keys. Anyway. By the way, that laugh is important. We'll get to that in a moment, though. And yeah, notice now that he's yellow instead of blue. And now he's green. And now he's gone. And with him being gone, he of course will not collect gems. We have to manually collect them. However, we can, as the dragon mentioned, we can feed the butterfly, or we can feed the dragonfly butterflies. Assuming we can get to those sheep without getting ourselves hurt. Probably, it's not actually that hard, but I just don't want to mess with that for the moment if I can avoid it. I don't want to do something like really stupid. I mean, I'm being recorded here. I mean, it's by my own volition I'm being recorded, but still, I'm being recorded here. I don't want to look stupid on camera. Yeah, hey, there we go. And now he's back to blue. Okay, so I guess we got some sheep in there too. But yes, you notice there's butterflies. If he eats butterflies, he goes up a level, or if he just is dead, you kill a sheep and then, like, he'll be inside the sheep rather than a normal butterfly. Or there's actually different types of enemies for different. I know each world has their own. I believe sometimes like each level has their own even. As far as the thing you destroy in order to get butterflies. Alright, so we've got everything cleared out here. We've got our dragonfly friend back to full health. Unless we are at full health. And we got another dragon statue. Convenient.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
That was 2 hints. You lied to me. I probably shouldn't complain, though. And yeah, actually I showed it off a bit in the homeworld area, but yes, you can, if you press jump while already jumping, you'll start gliding. And that allows you to reach, faraway areas. Alright, now where are you, you laughing little jerk? I heard you laugh. There he is. So that blue hooded guy, he is important. He is an egg thief. Whenever there is a dragon egg to be found in the level, you're going to have to chase him down. Which usually involves he'll run some kind of track, basically some kind of circuit, and you've got to basically figure out how to get faster than him, how to complete the course, for lack of a better way to describe it, faster than him to catch up. Because he runs about the same speed as you do at a full charge. I think he might be marginally slower. It's like you just stay literally right behind him, you'll eventually catch back up. But it would take a while, presuming it's even possible. Also, these things don't pop up in too many levels, but they are barrier generators. They create invisible walls so you don't walk out of the level. I think I can walk out of the level there and drown myself, though. I'd rather not, because Spyro cannot swim. So if you touch water, you die. Or I think you just take damage. I mean, in that situation, I'd keep taking damage until I was out of health, and then I'd die, because there's really no way to get back up here from that one, but yeah. But like I was saying with that demo, it was the main hub for this first world, this level, and one other one, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, between that and the fact that like I said, I didn't have a memory card when I first got my PlayStation, and with it this game. And, well, I enjoy Brave Fencer Musashi, but, like, I was kind of terrible at it. Actually, no, I was pretty terrible at it. And I don't think I ever got past the first area until months later when I did have a memory card. And then I finally reached the first save point. Boy, I'm glad that, I never got past that point when I didn't have the ability to save. I would have been really mad. Anyway, up here. This is one thing I don't like about actually this particular level, Stone Hill. When you're up here and you're trying to find gems, one thing that they did introduce in the Reignited trilogy, which I do kind of like, but I don't want to use a lot, is... not that. That's if you press the right stick, it'll do the same thing as the triangle button. Put you into the free look mode, in and out. But no, if you do the left stick, Sparks will point you in the direction of any gems you're missing. It's pretty useful to have, especially as I was going through 2 and 3, because I never actually played those ones when I was a kid. I didn't play, like, literally when this game came out, I was like, ooh, it's $30 and I get a really pretty looking HD remake of Spyro. And 2 bonus games! And yeah, that's kind of my outlook on the things with that. I never grew up, I never played and really have no opinion on either of the other 2 games. Well, didn't. I've played them now and they're alright. Not a super big fan of the second one, but the third one is pretty okay. It is pretty decent for the most part. Like it's got its own issues, but whatever. We're not here to disparage the sequels. We're here to talk about the original, the one. Well, since their sequel is not really the one, the only, is it? Huh? Yeah. Okay, let's try this again. Up here. Because if I remember correctly, you can get. Maybe I was wrong. You can't get up there. So, yeah, there we go. We're missing 7 gems. Really? Where am I missing those 7 gems at? Because we already came down here. Yeah, I already got all the stuff here. Getting the magical lift thingy, Spyro. And yes, even if you're at full health, the little animation that plays as he chases down butterflies will still play whenever you generate a butterfly by killing a butterfly generating monster like the sheep. Actually, that's one kind of amusing thing with the ads for this game when the original game came out in PS1. Because they really did the whole thing like the sheep, even though I think sheep, well no. They're in a couple levels in this first world, and I think they might pop up every once in a while in later worlds. But there were so many other just random things, even starting from some of the levels in this first world, that act as the sheep generator enemies, and it's like, okay. But yeah, the ads back in the day really just focused on that, like, putting Spyro as kind of a punk kid, and, he was out to hurt the sheeps. When you say that out loud, it doesn't sound like it'd be a great advertising campaign. Admittedly, I don't remember too many of the details, but I'm pretty sure I found it funny. I mean, I also just really like the game, though, so it's like, I don't remember, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I saw, like, ads in gaming magazines back in the day, but I don't remember if I ever saw ads for it on TV. I don't know. Okay, so, like I said, Sparks will point you towards treasures if you're missing them. Where is... No, wait, what? Oh, hey! How did I miss those? Well, that's 3 right there. Oh! 4, 5. Okay, so back this way. Okay. That tells me it's up there. That is one thing with this, is the fact that sometimes, especially with the improved graphics, gems can actually be occasionally a bit difficult to see amidst the grass and all that. I mean, the world looks beautiful, but you know, when the ground was just a flat green texture on a, you know, bumpy polygonal plane. Oh, there it is. There we go. All right. It was a lot easier to spot things on it than it was like with all this other detail going on. But I think I prefer the improved graphics just because the pretty high def graphics as likes them. And then, well, shall we return home back to the Artisan homeworld? And then I think we'll do one more level to kind of showcase all the ways that this game works when you're playing it. As much as I don't like this level. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm just not very good at it, and it frustrates me because of that. Alright. Oh, by the way, worth pointing out, if you already killed an enemy and collected his gem, you kill it again, they drop a little orb. And you'll notice that orb is now there above Spyro's head. When you fill the circle with them, which I think is like something like 16 orbs or something like that, I don't actually know. I never really pay attention. Now, by the way, proof of concept. See, now he's blue. We took damage because Spyro can't swim. Anyway, though, as I was saying, when you fully collect all those orbs, you get an extra life. So that's cool. And behold, a hidden level. Sunny Flight. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this, and I will show you how terrible I am at these kind of things. There we go. So, this is what I've heard people refer to as a speedway level, and it's an appropriate enough name. I think most people call them that because in 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken, all of them are blank something speedway. In this one, they were all named something flight. And, you know, flight level also works, considering the fact that rather than just, you know, jumping and gliding, Spyro is actually capable of flying here. And because of that, they change up the way that the levels work. And I don't know, like, I like me some platforming action, so maybe I'm just, you know, on that, or I'm just, you know, dealing with that. So like, this isn't platforming. I want platforming. But yeah, you basically have to do, and there's going to be 4 different items. Like, you either have to destroy, fly through, possibly both, and you have to find, what is it, 8 of each, I think. And if you get the full set of any of these items, when you finish the level, you get a set amount of gems. You also get a set amount of gems if you get all of them in a single run. Okay, good, I did get both of them. There we go. Alright. The last one should be coming around the mountain. There we go. Alright, so that's 3 of the items. And the last, we still got 12 seconds, and the last one is actually the easiest to get. Oh! He says as he dumps himself in the water. But yeah, as you can see, 4 sets of items. Planes, barrels, chests, and arches in this case. 8 of each. If you get a set of 8, you get 60 gems. If you get all 4 of them in the same run, you get another 60 gems for the all-in-one bonus, I guess. And yeah, since collecting gems is one of the things in this game, right now it's not what we need to do to advance the next world. Actually, I'm pretty sure we can do that if we wanted to, but we're going to do the worlds in order and finish all the levels, because that's the way I approach 3D platformers. It's actually one of the things that kind of annoys me with the More so the second one than the third one. Third one does it occasionally, but it's more so it locks off levels to you rather than the second game. Actually, no, the third one does it a little bit too. But basically locks off stuff where it's like, oh, you can't do that until you finish another level later on to get another ability or something like that. And it's like, that kind of annoys me. Because, like, it just goes counter to the way that I play 3D platforming and do all that. So it's like, why you gotta do that, game? Oh well. I'm not feeling good about this run. Took too long on those planes. So that's, if you had noticed, we are on a time limit. Every time we collect a thing, it does give us a bit of extra time. But, yeah, the time runs out. Which I'm pretty sure we're about to see happen here. Yep, we failed the level like when I fell in the water that time. And I don't know if this is actually an optimized way to do it, but I was testing some recording beforehand, just kind of seeing roughly, because I click, okay, I don't want to do like the super long episodes like I've been doing for the Dragon Quest or for Kingdoms of Amalur. It's like, this is going to be a nice, light game. We're going to do nice, light, you know, short game, or short videos. Did I get 2 of them there? I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, how long is, you know, if I want to do, let's try and keep it about 20 to 30 minutes. How much should that fit in? And without also keeping the series going too long, because I do like this game, but this isn't a game that, you know, we need to spend like a month and a half worth of videos. Actually, we need to spend more like 2 or 3 months worth of videos on, so, you know, I want to make sure we make progress, but I also don't want the videos to be too long, you know? Try and keep them about 30 minutes each. But yeah, and I was doing this like, okay, this route actually works pretty well, because, well, I haven't played this since the Reignited trilogy came out. Like, the other 2 games I have played more recently, mostly just because, like, I beat this, like, I got my copy of the Reignited trilogy, and, like, that night in a single sitting, I beat the entire game, like, 100%ed all trophies, everything in the game. And then just didn't touch the other 2 until, like, months later, and I just, like, maybe a month or 2 ago, got around to finishing 3, and even then, technically, I hate everything. I do hate everything. I subdue that hate a lot of times, but I really do hate everything. No, but I only, like, recently got around, and even then, I think it's, like, I only got a 97% clear. Just, I can't be asked to do the last few things, and it's like, no, I'm good. I am quite good. And mostly because, ironically enough, the speedway stages, not because they're, like, really hard, like, struggling with them here. There's actually, it kind of annoys me, but in a weird way, the speedway stages in 3 are way too easy. But it's weird because, like, I don't like these because I'm not very good and they piss me off because of that. But, like, yeah, this one isn't going to go well. I mean, you can also just, like, hit pause and, like, retry. But, you know, there's something cathartic about, I messed up, I'm going to draw on myself now. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. But more so, like, they had extra objectives to them, and those extra objectives are obnoxious. Like, super obnoxious. Maybe that's just me, though. Ooh. There's actually a button you can do, like a quick turn, loop-to-loop kind of thing. I never remember what it is because I rarely ever use it. That probably would have been really good there, but oh well. We are actually doing really good on time here. Staying pretty consistently above 15 seconds here, roughly. Okay, well now we're just barely at 15 seconds, but the last 2 loops here are pretty close together, and each of those gives 3 seconds. Oh yeah, we're not even on the countdown yet, and we're about to start getting trains. Or, I guess the barrels on the trains is really what we're doing, but I always think of it as the trains. go. Alright, coming under the bridge. So we can get to this cave. So that way we can get these. And the last one. And we fly off into the sky. Haven't gotten the all clear bonus. Yeah, we did it in 1:49. Pretty solid, I think. I don't know. I've never been enough into these like, oh no, I'm gonna beat my time. No, I'm good. I am so good on that. But yes, let us quit. Let's not do that again until we get to that in the next world. Because each world has one of those. And as you might expect, each world, as you get farther in the game gets harder. And the flight levels are no different. Well, anyway. Ooh, pretty. Anyway, this has been Spyro Reignited. Tune in next time for, well, more of the Artisan homeworld. We still got 2 levels and the boss stage to go on this, so we're going to be doing that probably next video, maybe a bit more, not sure. Until then, though, as always, later, folks.